Okay, so we are back with part 2, and I am including that on the off chance that we couldn't figure out how to put all the videos together like they should be. So our crust has now been baked, and now we're going to move on to the rest of it. Now, one thing I didn't say before, and I should have, is whenever you're making anything, read your recipe over first so you know exactly what you have to do and when you have to do it. So you're not like looking at it and all of a sudden it'll say, do this, and then you can't. So make sure you read your recipe over, which I have done. So now we're going to take our cream cheese and we're going to put it in our mixer. Now, one thing I've learned is if you have a large food processors work fantastic for cheesecakes. It gets everything all blended together, so fantastic. I do not have a large cheesecake. I don't have a large food processor, so I'm using my mixer. Now we're going to put our sugar in. Make sure you have your paddle attachment going with your mixer, and we're going to put that on there. Start it slow so that you're not shooting sugar all over the place. As it goes, kind of start it up a little bit, get it going a little faster. We're just going to let that cream a minute and get all together, and I'm going to drink because that's what I do. This is the glass that Jeremy and Emily got me when they went to Roswell, New Mexico with all the aliens, which apparently we have aliens now, so we're good to go on that one. Makes me think of, this is going to age me like a whole lot. Back when I was little, did I say back when? When I was little, there was a cooking show on called The Galloping Gourmet. And the guy's name was Graham Kerr. And he would cook stuff on TV, and he would drink the entire time that he was doing his cooking show. And then at the end of the show, he would pull somebody out of the audience, and they would sit there with them, and they would drink while they ate, and he'd always have his wine. But by the end of the show, he was like real happy and like getting all red and blotchy, and it's kind of a good show. And I was little when I watched it, so it made for a lot of entertainment. So we've got that all going. Now we are going to start adding our eggs. And we're going to add our eggs one at a time. And make sure you mix really well in between each one. And you also want to make sure that you're stopping your mixer. You're scraping your sides and your bottom. Because a lot of times these mixers don't always get right to the bottom. So, I'm going to start our mixer again. Get my sides scraped down a little bit. We're going to add 1 egg in. We're going to let that do its little mixing thing. I'm actually going to turn it up just a little bit. Hopefully that isn't too loud and drowns me out too much. Now while that's going, we actually need to make a ganache because we're going to divide this into 2 bowls, and we're going to put chocolate in one and orange in the other. So while this is mixing, I'm going to go start my ganache, my cream. I'm just turning it on. Shouldn't take it real long. You don't want the cream to boil. You just want it to scald a little bit. So we're scraping down our sides. And you also got, I don't know if you can see this, probably not, but there's like cream cheese stuck on the blade. You want to make sure you get that too. You want every little bit of everything that you can into it. We're going to start that up again. Put our second egg in. Let that mix. Our cream is ready to go. So we're going to pour that right over our chocolate. And we're going to let that just sit a minute while we're finishing this. Once again, scraping down our sides. Making sure we get everything, get the bottom good. Because, yeah, I wish you could see that there's just lots, not there. Put it down. is going in. While that's mixing, this is sad enough. We're going to take our whisk. We're going to whisk our chocolate and our cream together. And it's just turning into a nice little chocolatey ganache. Ganache is a fancy word for cream and chocolate mixing. Actually, it's more of a fat. You can also use butter for a ganache. I can see on the edges of my pan, my bowl, I have a lot of egg yolk, and I want to make sure all that gets mixed in. You don't want it to not. And this right here, again, is why I really, really like a food processor, because I don't have to sit here and scrape this down and go through all this bullshit. Can I say that? Yeah, I can say that. It's my video. I can say whatever I want. Okay, that's mixing. Last thing I'm going to add is my vanilla. I'm going to pour that in and let that all mix together. All beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to scrape my paddle off a little bit. Take it off and beat it. Sorry if that's loud. Or shooting. Pull this off. Now, just to make things easier, I'm going to kind of put this down and move that way out of my way because it kind of gets in the way. I have my 2 bowls here. We're going to use this and make sure everything's mixed up good. Now I'm going to do my best to like divide it in between the 2 bowls. So we're just going to kind of eyeball it here a little bit. That way our layers, because we're actually making a layered cheesecake. You want to make sure you're scraping everything down really good because you want to make sure you get every last little bit of everything. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Wipe my hands off. Okay, so in this layer, we're going to add our chocolate. Actually, I'm going to do this. We're going to add our chocolate. This is our chocolate, our ganache that we just made. We're going to put this in. Once again, making sure we get every last little bit we can. This is making our 1 layer nice and yummy and chocolatey. Stirring it up really good. Okay, now this was my crust that I made earlier. I'm going to take this and I'm going to throw all this into here. Trying to get every last little bit I can. I may end up taking my spatula because the spoon just doesn't, it might be okay. It worked out better than I thought. I'm going to take my offset spatula and I'm going to spread this around in the pan, get it really good to the edges. And then you are allowed, if you want, to like tap it down a little bit. We're going to set that off to the side. I'm going to take another drink. If you have a drink, you take a drink. I don't know what time of day you're watching this. Doesn't matter. It's quarantine, no rules. 10 o'clock, drink. 1 o'clock, drink. No rules. I do have pants on though. Okay. Now we're going to zest our orange. Now, this recipe says to have your zest already ready. You can just dump it in. I've learned that when you need zest it over whatever you're putting it in, because there's all the oils that are in the skin of an orange or even a lemon or a lime. And when you zest it over the top, you're getting all those good oils in whatever you're making. It just adds so much more flavor. So I've got my zester here, and we're just going to sit here and do this. And you don't want to get it too low. You don't want to get it into the white or the pith of the orange, because that's real bitter. So we're just going to do what we can. Now, while I'm doing this, if there is anything else anybody wants to, you know, see me try and do within reason, I'm not going to do anything like real weird or anything. But now, my husband tried to tell me that I should do like a drunk cooking show, which I'm really not opposed to, like in any way, shape, or form, as long as it's not, you know, I'm not trying to make anything too complicated. Because, you know, quarantine, no rules. You can wear pants when you want. You can, you know, drink when you want. Shoot, all day today my phone was an hour behind, because, you know, why not? Half the time I don't know what day it is right now. So now that we've got this all very nicely zested, we're going to tap this out, because you want to get all that stuff that's out of there. We're going to stir this up really well. And get all that good zest inside our other layer. Oh, that smells so good. Now we're going to take this. We're going to just kind of put it over the top of this layer. Spread it around as best we can. Now, because I have two, I'm going to get out my other offset spatula, which I should have had ready. Bad mise en place on my part. We're going to spread this over the top. Being all beautiful and ready. Okay, now we are going to put this in the oven, and we're going to cook it for about, let's see, what the recipe says exactly is you are going to, I lost it, bake for about 60 minutes or until the surface of the cake no longer looks glossy. It's a custard, so you technically just, it can wiggle, but you don't want it to wiggle a lot. So we're going to put this in the oven, and when we come back, it will be part 3, or it will just continue on if we have figured out how to spice it together. Let's bake a cheesecake.